We did it. We won the video game. Yo, what's up Twitchest? What's up Tuxedo? What's up Nick? What's up YouTube chat? Jazz Hand, Vinny. Yeah, starting out with a nice undefeated streak on chess. One straight in to the Halo. Up Swerve. How were Zoo's runs this morning? I saw he was doing runs. I ran to the store to get an energy drink. I came back and Zoo wasn't online anymore, so I assume he didn't get any runs. Are you guys watching? The fight for trilogy record's kind of entertaining right now. If you guys haven't been keeping up with Zoo and Sloth, it's the biggest battle going on in Halo speedrunning. So, for the last year pretty much, Sloth has been grinding, trying to set the trilogy world record on Legendary. The previous holder was Zoo, so Sloth has been trying to beat Zoo for about a year. Sloth finally gets a couple pretty good runs. He's improved the record a few times now, so Sloth has it. And now Zoo has come back. Zoo hasn't been grinding trilogy for the last year, but Zoo has been focusing on each game individually. So Zoo has now come back to trilogy, and because he's so good at each individual game, it's pretty certain that he's probably going to get the record quickly. Over the last couple of days, Zoo has had runs that were way ahead, but have died like right at the end, or the funny things throughout the run. It's a hard run. It's a 3.5 hour run. Playing Legendary for 3.5 hours and minimizing mistakes is very hard. But Zoo's probably going to get the record in the next couple days. Feels bad to be in Sloth's shoes, to grind this thing for a year and then have Zoo come in and beat you right back, but that's speedrunning.
La Terra, sono anni che non la vedo. Quando sono partito, la griglia di difesa orbitale era ancora un progetto nella mente dei politici. E ora guarda, l'aereo è soltanto una delle 300.
I don't know, something about the way he says that is so Italian.
Una nave da guerra Covenant. Con il fuoco concentrato di Atene e Malta, nulla potrebbe superare indenne questa forza da battaglia. È da stamattina che arrivano astronavi. Nessuno dice molto, ma c'è qualcosa di grosso nell'aria.
Allarme, nemico in avvicinamento.
What record did Zoo get? he hasn't gotten it yet, but he's grinding for trilogy record. He just started getting some really good runs recently, so he'll probably get it soon. Trilogy record is just Halo 1, 2, and 3 back to back.
Questa non è un'esercitazione. Ripeto, non è un'esercitazione.
Let me in this dang door.
Sigillare le porte pressurizzate.
Alright, first try, easy every time.
Attenzione! Medico! Qualcuno chiama il medico!
Aprire le rampariere delle armi.
Stanno abbandonando Atene.
So Twitch test, when are you gonna play the real Halo 2?
Quadro tattico.
L'esplosione proveniva dall'interno di Atene, come per Malta. L'attacco dei Covenant era mirato all'inserimento di una bomba.
Allora è sicuro che ne hanno portato una anche qui. Provala, capo.
Oddio, cos'è quella? Un'arma o un...
That's not fair. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious Zoo's better at Halo 2 than Sloth, but Zoo's better than everyone at Halo 2 MCC. So, I mean, when you compare the two, it's hard to not notice the difference because Zoo's going like 5 minutes faster. It's not, Sloth is like, isn't Sloth like 3rd place or something? It's not like Sloth is slow. It's just Zoo's way faster. There's tiers. 6th now, I mean, still, like, it's kind of the same, but being slow in Halo 1 isn't so punishing. So, like, Zoo is also, like, 6th in Halo 1, and he's a few minutes behind. But the thing is, Halo 1 is so consistent. If you learn the tricks, if you do the route, the game works. So you don't get so punished, and, like, you don't lose so much time. You don't die very often. A deathless run is way more feasible in Halo 1. You don't really get those in Halo 2, so it's a lot more...
Ok, verifichiamo il sistema di puntamento.
I don't know, it's just the skill gap at the top is
Ora guarda la
insane.
luce in basso. Perfetto. Di nuovo la luce in alto. Ci siamo. E ora quella in basso, ok? Sembra tutto a posto. Aspetta. Ora disattivo gli inibitori.
And then Zoo also has an advantage on Halo 3. So they have similar trade-offs on 1 and 2, but Zoo has the advantage. And then the trade-off in Halo 3 is that Zoo just has a better time.
Fai attenzione perché non ho intenzione di ripetermi. Questa stazione verificherà gli
Zoo's the former world record holder for Halo 3, so that's a pretty big leg up. Being the current record for 2 and former for 3 makes trilogy. I feel like that guy's, whoever has that as their resume is probably pretty likely to get the record.
Aspetta che l'indicatore ritorni al massimo.
Certo, può nascondersi dietro di me. Allora, hai finito col mio ragazzo? Ormai se la cava anche da solo.
La sua corazza è a posto, Johnson, per cui tappati quella boccaccia.
I wish he would learn my Great Journey strats. Every time I watch him do Great Journey, he screws up with the elites and loses his runs.
Allora, Johnson, quando mi dirai come hai fatto a tornare qui tutto d'un pezzo?
Spiacente, segreto militare.
Ah, vai al diavolo! E scordati pure che ti sistemi il mirino della tua A2.
Oh, oggi è davvero di buon umore. Magari Lord Wood ha dimenticato di invitarlo.
How do you convince him to go for it? I mean, he might be good, but the difference between
Sono anni che non la
2.5 and 1.5 is pretty big.
Quando sono partito, la griglia di difesa orbitale era ancora un progetto nella mente dei politici. E ora guarda, il Cairo è soltanto una delle 300 piattaforme
But
geostazioni.
yeah, I mean,
Il fucile Khan potrebbe
show him
trapassare
the current record and tell him if he thinks he could beat it. It's basically, I guess, would be if you really want him to give it a go, ask him if he thinks he's better. Because if you're to be a world record holder in a speedrun, you have to be like ego driven. You have to look at a run and say, yeah, I can beat that.
Stamattina che arrivano astronavi. Nessuno dice molto, c'è qualcosa di grosso.
But yeah, I would say the best way would just be to link him the leaderboard or the world record run and ask him if he thinks he could beat it. He might say yes.
Allarme.
And then you know he's gonna be a speedrunner. What's up, Aria? Yeah, we're on Italian.
Ai posti di combattimento. Questa non è un'esercitazione. Ripeto, non è un'esercitazione.
Ehi, eccoli là! Problema risolto, perfetto.
No.
Vigilare le porte pressurizzate. Aprire le rampariere delle armi.
Oh, stanno abbandonando Atene.
Cortana, quadro tattico.
L'esplosione proveniva dall'interno di Atene, come per Malta. L'attacco dei Covenant era mirato all'inserimento di una bomba.
Allora è sicuro che ne hanno portata una anche qui. Provala, capo.
Oddio, cos'è quella? Un'arma o... Ah!
No. Stop.
Avanti, capo, di qua.
When I do all skulls on run, I'll have envy because I'm playing the original game. If you're doing the MCC playlist, you won't have envy, but you can bring Johnson with you is what I would recommend for like a casual all skulls on. Bring Johnson to the first room and then do the Needler overload glitch, and the rest of the level is insanely easy. You can easily beat the level in like 20 minutes if you do that strat. I don't know if you've seen my YouTube video about the Needler overload, but if you take a marine body and launch it halfway inside of a door, it'll get like frozen in space. if you shoot that body with needles, the needles will stay frozen in space on top of that body, and you can get infinite ammo by using your teammates to reload for you. So what you do is you shoot the entire ammo, and then you give the gun to your teammate, and you just repeat that, and they'll reload for you. And if you do it right, then after like 5 minutes of doing it, no more needles will be able to spawn because you've created like 1,000 of them. And then for the rest of the level, no more enemies can spawn, and you can just walk to the end. So basically you do this with the dead body, like you just slash it inside of a wall and it'll get frozen. Like you see how it's like partially frozen there? If you do it where you can see the Marine, then you can easily shoot at him.
Il primo trasporto ci ha ignorato, signore. È passato attraverso I detriti di Malta e si è diretto verso la Terra. Giusto per farlo presente, ci sono dei ranger elite a guardia della bomba. Pensa a qualcosa.
Guarda, sicurezza al modulo testa.
What are you doing over here, buddy? Whatever. Is that the strat for most All Skulls levels? It doesn't work on... Well, technically you can do it on every level, but it's only really worth it on Cairo. You can do it on the second half of Gravemind as well, but the second half of Gravemind's actually pretty easy. Oh, come on. Yeah, Dark, there was at the room where you save your hunter allies. I cleared the first wave of brutes, and then I got taken out by the reinforcements. They brute shot me. Right at the end. But yeah, you don't have to do the overload strat either. I would recommend watching a video though. All Skulls On is really hard. If you're going in without knowing what you're doing, you're in for a world of pain. I did that a long time ago. I was the first person to do Halo 2 All Skulls On. There was no strats to look up when I started. I was the first person to do each level separately, and then I was the first person to do the whole game in one sitting. For All Skulls On. For Halo 2, All Skulls On runs weren't really a thing at first because, like, well, first of all, recording an entire Legendary run back in 2004 took 3 hours. And nobody was recording 3-hour videos and putting them on the internet in 2004. So, then we fast forward a little bit in the internet, we get to Halo 3, people are starting to put longer videos on the internet in 2007, but usually only 15 to 20 minutes because that's YouTube's limit, and YouTube is finally taking off around 2008. Fast forward a little bit further, you get to 2009, as this is when I start doing All Skulls On stuff, as I really start hitting it hard in like 9, 10, and 11. And in 2011 I had uploaded runs of every single level and a full game run. But there's no skull menu in Halo 2 Classic, so when you turn on a skull, you have to just take the effects, and then if you want to turn on the other skull, you have to go get the next skull, and you have to go get all of them. It takes a really long time to even like do an All Skulls On run. One of the reasons nobody had done it is it was such a rare thing for anybody to collect all the skulls. First of all, you had to be really good at Legendary, which not many people were back in the day especially. Then there's a trick you could do, but not many people knew it. You could make 15 different profiles and beat the game 15 different times and get each of them to a checkpoint right before the skull. So for the first profile, you make it on the first level, and you get a checkpoint right before the skull, and then you save and quit. And you do it on the second level and the third level all the way. And that way, if you ever want to do a all skulls on run, you just have to load up all 15 of those checkpoints, pick up the skull, and then save and quit and repeat. And so instead of having to play through the whole level, you only have to play through one checkpoint. And even doing that, it still takes 30 minutes to turn on all the skulls because the loading time is so long. So I have perfect checkpoints made for when I do all skulls on runs, and it's still, before you can even attempt one run, you have to do 30 minutes of load time and skull pickup. So very few people have attempted Halo 2 Classic with all the skulls turned on. It's a pretty niche challenge. That's using the checkpoint exploit, and if you didn't do the checkpoint exploit, it'd take hours to turn on every skull. I do a speedrun where I pick up every skull in order, and it takes me like 3 hours or 2.5 hours or something. I've already done it, Eric. That's what I was just saying.
Ehi, ecco la nave. Avanti, boss. Ti seguiremo tutti ciecamente.
Calma, sono qui io.
The first time I did all of those skulls in one sitting, I got stuck on Gravemind for like 6 hours straight on one checkpoint. I couldn't beat the prison section, and you would die and go back to the start of the level. And I did that. So I did it as like a stream. I think it was in like 2013 or something, where I tried it, and I actually failed on that one, and I spent 6 hours on Gravemind, and I gave up, and I was like, alright, it's been 8 hours total. It took me like 2 hours to get there, and then 6 hours of failing. So I was like, I give up, I'll come back another time. So I took a week off, and I worked on my strats, and I thought a little bit harder. And I came back a week later, and I actually did the All Skulls on run, and I think it took me like 4 hours or something, so I like got way better. But it was definitely a challenge to even beating the first level. Cairo is like the hardest part of the All Skulls on run, actually. If you can beat Cairo, you can beat all of the levels. I guess maybe not anymore with that overload trick I was talking about. But back in the day when we didn't have good strats, Cairo was so hard.
Dall'altra parte la situazione è difficile, signore. Prego.
Was today the day? It will be.
In quell'edificio sono intrappolati diversi marini. Concentrati sui radar, sono i più pericolosi.
slide move. Saved.
Signore, caporale Perez compagnia, il comando è da questa parte. Il tenente è stato colpito appena siamo arrivati.
Chi è al comando adesso, caporale?
Il sergente Banks, signora, è di sopra. Vi farò vedere. Quando ho chiesto dei rinforzi, non mi aspettavo di vedere arrivare uno Spartan. Abbiamo dei guai. Vedi questo sguardo? È terrore. Mori, ti ho dato il permesso di lamentarti. Non credo che si fermerà. Giù la testa! Cosa sta iniziando a darmi sui nervi? Marine, dobbiamo far fuori uno scarab.
The double nade.
Noi siamo la mano dei profeti, arbiter, e tu sei la loro spada. Sii rapido e silenzioso e sradicheremo questa eresia senza incidenti. La tempesta celata il nostro e forse ha disattivato la loro rete locale. Possiamo contare sull'elemento sorpresa, vero?
Ok.
Arbiter, pulisci la gara e apri, così potrò sganciare la seconda lana. Tieni la posizione, mi sto avvicinando.
He's like next to me. That's crazy. How did he get here so fast? Those guys just not spawn. What am I being shot by? don't understand how I was taking damage there.
Chi è l'idiota che si è fatto rubare la lama?
What was shooting me? Where are those needles coming? Yeah, Gold Hawk, thank you. Years, appreciate it. Where are you coming from? This is so slow. I hate you guys. Brother man, leave me alone. No. Yo, chill,
Uccidetelo, fratelli miei. Io difenderò l'oracolo.
La sua verità non deve essere celata!
I didn't like that pile. Alright, I played it really slow. We lost a lot of time here, but I really didn't want to die.
Insegui il leader, ma guardati le spalle.
Tired of losing runs on this level?
Phantom di supporto. Leader degli eretichi in questo settore della stazione. Ripulisci la ZA e penetra all'interno. La nostra fede.
Cosa è successo qui? Chiedevo chi avrebbe annullato i profeti. Un arbiter.
Vieni
Sono
fuori,
quasi così
ti uccideremo.
Aspetta il tuo turno. Leader, silenzio. Lucas va su.
pazzi eretic, cosa hanno fatto?
How am I about to die here, dude? Chill. I'm not gonna have time to get this. Okay, don't kill me. What's up, banana? Good. Banana.
Guarda dove sto!
Beating legendary without dying was an achievement. Yeah, only like 5 people would have it. He has to die, Mogami, it's faster. Unlike Zoo, I gain no sense of joy out of it. I do it strictly out of allegiance to speed. Zoo does it just because he can. Sick. even just beating Gravemind without dying, it'd be hard enough for most people. So even if it was like some of best, it would still be a very difficult achievement. Except it would probably be cheesable just like the All Skulls achievement is cheesable, where you can save and quit before you die and it won't revert you. I bet it would work the same way, because you can cheese iron by just saving and quitting. I bet you, if they did add a Deathless achievement, you could probably just save and quit and do it. Don't shoot me, don't shoot me. Hello.
Guerrieri, torniamo alla Z. L'arbiter proseguirà verso l'alto, sgancerà la stazione e costringerà l'eretica a uscire allo scoperto.
Che i nostri signori guidino la tua mano.
Tutti i miei phantom sono in volo. Coraggio, taglia il cavo. Quello, veri profeti, guarda il quadro della stazione. Ultimo cavo, arbiter. Ce l'ha fatta, la stazione è in caduta libera. Il leader degli eretici si muove. Non lasciatelo scappare. Noi resteremo qui.
Per la verità e per i Covenant!
Lei è ancora vivo, arbiter.
Stiamo tenendo il passo il meglio possibile.
Salvare l'oracolo!
È folli. Non riuscirà mai a fuggire con un banshee. Là, c'è un cacciaserra qua dentro. Arbiter, sai? Come hanno fatto i profeti a comprare la tua fedeltà? Un nuovo comando, una nuova flotta. O con la loro cugina, con il grande viaggio. tutto questo tempo, tutti questi sforzi, e il massimo che i precursori hanno saputo fare è stato congelare le creature. E ora dove sono questi dei che i profeti vorrebbero che adorassero? Ascesi al cielo. Non ci credo. Vieni anche te, lasciati ti mostro dove sono.
Questa struttura mineraria è antecedente all'installazione alta di centinaia di anni.
Alright.
Signore, dobbiamo neutralizzare quelle torrette!
Yeah, it's in Italian. I've switched languages just because people have asked me to switch, and it's fun. If you want to request a new language, $10. Find my disc. You have to actually switch discs. It's not as easy as just like changing it in the menu settings. And some of them are faster or slower. So when I'm doing normal speedruns, I play on German because it's fastest. But for this type of run, I'm not too worried. It's only 12 seconds over the entire run, so I'm not too worried about 12 seconds. So I'm happy to switch it up, have some fun. We've heard enough of the German version. I can do Chinese, but I can't do Spanish because I have a sealed copy of Spanish and I don't want to open it. I don't have an easily playable Spanish version, so I can't do that one. The only sealed version I own is Spanish. I want to keep it. But Spanish is probably one of the easiest to find online, though. There's a pretty big Spanish Halo population, so I bet you could find a video of it, a full playthrough online pretty easily. Is that the true Deathless challenge, Mogami? You have to watch all the cutscenes? Is that how you know it's real?
Nessuna notizia dell'Inamberclad nella rete da battaglia Covenant. Molto strano. I Covenant sapevano che saremmo sbarcati, ma a quanto pare non ci considerano una minaccia. Gli faremo una bella sorpresa. Aspetta.
Almost 5, right? Guess I didn't need ammo. It was 5, right? Alright, made it past the start of Regret. That's one of the riskiest parts of the run. The end of this level is another one. Watching Zoos run without a timer. Yeah, it's funny hearing people try to do math and try to figure it all out. People get so stressed out about a timer.
Questo lago non può essere di origine
Crazy.
vulcanica, il che significa che è stato realizzato di proposito o che è stato generato da un qualche cataclisma. Scusa, stavi cercando di uccidere qualcosa?
The timer doesn't actually, like, determine the run in any capacity. A lot of people were like, does the run count? People get confused. The timer is just there to help the runner know their general pace. It's not the official timekeeper of the run. The official time of the run you retime at the end by the official timing rules, which usually you like check the exact frames of the video. There's different methods for different games, but for the timer that's on the side, that's just something that's like a program that we just run off to the side that just we put on the screen, like the Olympics puts on the screen a timer just so the fans can keep up kind of thing. It's pretty accurate. It's usually very close, especially when we're keeping track to the 1 second. Like, obviously we can hit the timer within precision of 1 second pretty consistently, but it's not if it crashes or breaks or it's off by a few seconds, it's not a big deal.
Sembra che dovremmo immergerci. O preferisci no?
Deathless Trilogy has been done. Cutting Crew's done it. Jerv may have done it as well. I think Cutting Crew didn't do Armory. Maybe he did, I can't remember. I think Cutting Crew started with Halo 2 and didn't play Armory, which people found to be contentious, but he did do like 2-1-3, I think, or 2-3-1. I think Jerv's done it as well. Could this be world record pace? Yeah, this is, if I complete the run, it's world record. The problem is trying to not die. If I die, then I have to go back to the beginning. Don't punch me. He punched me, dude. I bonked my head, I lost too much speed, and he had the perfect angle. Dang. Brutal. You don't always die like that. We go back to the start. You think I'm more cautious that the play is paying off? Yeah, I mean, I'm playing safe where I need to. Yo, Kong, thank you for the 10. I appreciate that. I try to take note of where I'm dying and, like, adjust if I need to. Sometimes you just get got and no adjustment needs made, just play better. And sometimes it's a failure of, like, strategy and planning. So I'm trying to balance it, and I feel like I do have pretty good balance, but game's just hard.
Ok, verifichiamo il sistema di puntamento. Guarda la luce in alto. Bene, ora guarda la luce in basso. Perfetto. Di nuovo la luce in alto. Ci siamo. E ora quella in basso, ok? Sembra tutto a posto. Aspetta. Ora disattivo gli inibitori.
We go again. Get your mugs out. Anybody got their MisterMonopoli mug with coffee in it, watching along? I've got merch. If you guys would like to pick up MisterMonopoli mugs, exclamation mark merch in the chat. I've got beanies as well. I hear both of them are very cool. I don't actually have any of them to like hold up for the camera for you, but everyone that's ordered has said that the quality is actually really good on the hats and on the cups, so I'm happy with the store.
Allora, hai finito col mio ragazzo? Ormai se la cava anche da solo.
La sua corazza è a posto. Puoi andare, figliolo, ma cerca di non strafare.
Tranquillo, lo terrò per mano.
Allora, Johnson, quando mi dirai come hai fatto a tornare qui tutto d'un pezzo?
Spiacente, segreto militare.
Ah, vai al diavolo! E scordati pure che ti sistemi il mirino della tua...
Oh, oggi è davvero di buon umore. Magari Lord Wood ha dimenticato di invitarlo. Ah, la Terra. Sono anni che non la vedo. Quando sono partito, la griglia di difesa orbitale era ancora un progetto nella mente dei politici. E ora guarda, il Cairo è soltanto una delle 300 piattaforme geostazionarie. Il fucile Khan potrebbe trapassare una nave da guerra Covenant. Con il fuoco concentrato di Atene e Malta, nulla potrebbe superare indenne questa forza da battaglia. È da stamattina che arrivano astronavi. Nessuno dice molto, ma c'è qualcosa di grosso nell'aria.
Allarme. Nemico in avvicinamento.
Alright.
tutte le unità, ai posti di combattimento.
Qualcuno avesse dubbi.
Questa non è un'esercitazione. Ripeto, non è un'esercitazione.
Morirai!
Dare le forze specializzate.
Sì! In arrivo!
Aprire le rastrelliere delle armi.
E se poi salta fuori? So che sei qui!
Oh, stanno abbandonando Atene.
Cortana, quadro tattico.
L'esplosione proveniva dall'interno di Atene, come per Malta. L'attacco dei Covenant era mirato all'inserimento di una bomba.
Allora è sicuro che ne hanno portata una anche qui. Provala, capo.
Cos'è quella? Un'arma o...
Avanti, capo, di qua.
Ero quasi a bordo quando sono comparsi.
It was a pretty good shot.
Primo Echelon, vieni con
gli
me.
assalitori sono
Annientiamo
nel
quegli
centro.
incrociatori uno alla volta. Secondo Echelon,
Sì, ma
vieni
avrò
a
bisogno
bada
di
in
un
trasporto.
trasporto di contatto. Registrazione di
Capo
tutti
alla
la
scia,
scelta che
ma
ci ha
in
portato.
fretta.
13 incrociatori, altra posizione attuale, sarà un
poca volontà.
Non riesco a credere. I trasporti stanno sfondando, signore. Sono diretti verso il Cairo.
Cortana, concentra il fuoco sul primo trasporto. Ammiraglio, bisogna fare il possibile con il secondo.
Tutta informazione. Seguitemi.
Please. Please. Okay, still
Il
good.
primo trasporto ci ha ignorato, signore. È passato attraverso i detriti di Malta e si è diretto verso la Terra. Giusto per farlo presente, ci sono dei ranger elite a guardia della bomba. Pensa a qualcosa.
Kind of a crazy clear.
La missione non può aspettare, capo.
Diamoci una mossa, Marine. Ripuliamo il luogo dello schianto, via!
Yeah, sub 7 with armor included. It's pretty fast.
Sergente, ho bisogno di te su quel mezzo.
Signora?
I miei Pelican stanno per iniziare a portare mezzi corazzati e rinforzi in città. Avremo bisogno di una scorta.
He melted me so fast, and I just whiffed. I full on whiffed, but how did I die that fast? That felt too fast, didn't it? That felt too fast. I know I whiffed, but I thought I was playing it safe, getting close to the turret, hiding behind it. I thought I had so much time. I did not think I was gonna get like one bursted there. That felt too fast. Whatever.
Immagino che comunque fosse obsoleta. La tua nuova corazza è una Mark 6, arrivata questa mattina da Songnam. Vaci piano finché non padroneggi le nuove funzioni. Ok, verifichiamo il sistema di puntamento. Guarda la luce in alto. Bene, ora guarda la luce in basso. Perfetto. Di nuovo la luce in alto. Ci siamo. E ora quella in basso, ok? Sembra tutto a posto. Aspetta. Ora disattivo gli inibitori. Muoviti un po' per ambientarti. Quando sei pronto, vieni da me al comando a distanza. Fai attenzione perché non ho intenzione.
You ordered Monopoly beanies for your friends for
Gli scudi della tua nuova corazza sono
Seattle
molto
weather.
resistenti,
That's fun.
Tombola.
Appreciate
Come puoi
it.
vedere, si ricaricano molto più velocemente.
And I see the order. Check my
Se i tuoi
orders
scudi
here.
cedono, trovati un riparo e aspetta che l'indicatore ritorni al massimo.
Certo, può nascondersi dietro di me. Allora, hai finito col mio ragazzo? Ormai se la cava anche da solo.
La sua corazza è a posto. Puoi andare, figliolo, ma cerca di non strafare.
6 of
Non lo
them.
terrò per mano.
Thank you so much.
Allora, Johnson, quando mi dirai come hai fatto a tornare qui tutto d'un pezzo?
Spiacente.
Gonna roll up with the squad.
Vai al diavolo.
Oh, I guess. Never mind. 3 and 3. 6 items. 3 mugs, 3
Oggi è
hats.
davvero di buon umore. Magari Lord Wood ha dimenticato di invitarlo.
Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Sono anni che non la vedo. Quando sono partito, la griglia di difesa orbitale era ancora un progetto nella mente dei politici. E ora guarda, il Cairo è soltanto una delle 300 piattaforme geostazionarie.
I might be there. I'm not sure if I'm still gonna live in Seattle in December, but if I do, I'll go. If I don't, then I probably won't.
Il fuoco concentrato di Atene e Malta nulla
I
potrebbe
need to figure out what I'm
superare
gonna do with my
questa
life.
bassa
I need to get a job. Streaming isn't cutting it. Seattle's too expensive, and I'm not a big enough streamer out here. So I need to move or do something different, or I don't know. I need to make a change somewhere in my life because what I'm doing right now isn't working. I don't know what I want to do.
Allarme. Nemico in avvicinamento.
I don't want to get a job, but I really need to get a job. Why do we have to get jobs? I don't know, I just don't know what I want to do. And my degree is so weird because my degree's in computer engineering, but computer engineering is so different now than 10 years ago. Like, I have work experience at a big company, and I know that I'm good at what I do, like I can figure things out. But I've just been out of the field for so long, and everything's so different now that I might just need to find a new career. I don't know what I want to do. I mean, it's not a matter of needing refresher courses. I mean, I can hop on and do like all the most recent like leak code stuff, and I've already been like familiarizing myself with like the new AI coding agents and stuff. Like, I get where the industry's headed. It's not like I can't brush up on my skills. I'm pretty confident in my ability to learn. I just don't know what I want to do. But like, with the new stuff with like Claude and stuff, software engineering as a title is just very different now than it was 10 years ago.
Capo, penso che stesse cercando di arrendersi. Vai con calma, io non scappo mica.
Oh, stanno abbandonando Atene.
Cortana, quadro tattico.
L'esplosione proveniva dall'interno di Atene, come per Malta. L'attacco dei Covenant era mirato all'inserimento di una bomba.
Allora è sicuro che ne hanno portata una anche qui. Trovala, capo.
Cos'è quella? Un'arma o una torcia?
Please don't. Hey, I don't got that.
Avanti, capo, di qua.
Ero quasi a bordo quando sono comparsi.
Non tema, signora, siamo qui.
Signore, gli assalitori sono nel centro di puntamento. Hanno una bomba.
Vuoi disarmarla?
Sì, ma avrò bisogno che il capo mi porti a contatto con il...
Capo, raggiungi la bomba in fretta. Cortana, priorità sui primi.
Primo Echelon, vieni con me.
condizione attuale,
Annientiamo
passo.
quegli incrociatori uno alla volta. Secondo Echelon, tieni a bada i trasporti. Non riesco a crederci.
Registrazione di tutti i vascelli nemici a portata di 13 incrociatori, 2 trasporti d'assalto. Sarà un inferno.
How are you not meleeing, man? Double Y.
Beh, immagino che comunque fosse
Tech
obsoleta.
jobs.
La tua nuova corazza è una Mark 6 arrivata
Selling your
questa
soul to
mattina.
some billionaire, get paid a lot, then burn out and hopefully retire. Yeah, I did the first 3 steps, but I didn't make enough to retire, so I gotta go back.
Ora guarda la luce in basso. Perfetto. Di nuovo la luce in alto. Ci siamo. E ora quella in basso, ok? Sembra tutto a posto. Aspetta. Ora
Have I
disattivo
done a
gli
full
illuminati.
legendary deathless run yet? No.
Muoviti un po' per ambientarti. Quando sei pronto, vieni da me al comando a distanza. Fai attenzione perché non ho intenzione di ripetermi. Questa stazione verificherà gli scudi energetici a ricarica. Gli scudi della tua nuova corazza sono molto resistenti, molto efficaci. Tombola! Come puoi vedere, si ricaricano molto più velocemente. Se i tuoi scudi cedono, trovati un riparo e aspetta che l'indicatore ritorni al massimo.
Certo, può nascondersi dietro di me. Allora, hai finito col mio ragazzo? Ormai se la cava anche da solo.
La sua corazza è a posto. Puoi andare, figliolo, ma cerca di non strafare.
Tranquillo, lo terrò per mano.
Allora, Johnson, quando mi dirai come hai fatto a tornare qui tutto d'un pezzo?
Spiacente, segreto militare.
Ah, vai al diavolo! E scordati pure che ti sistemi il mirino della tua A2.
Oh, oggi è davvero di buon umore. Magari Lord Hood ha dimenticato di invitarlo. Ah, la Terra. Sono anni che non la vedo. Quando sono partito, la griglia di difesa orbitale era ancora un progetto nella mente dei politici. E ora guarda, il Cairo è soltanto una delle 300 piattaforme geostazionarie. Il fucile Khan potrebbe trapassare una nave da guerra Covenant. Il fuoco concentrato di Atene e Malta nulla potrebbe superare indenne questa forza da battaglia. È da stamattina che arrivano astronavi. Nessuno dice molto, ma c'è qualcosa di
Hate money,
grosso.
smiley face. Yeah. I mean, it's an easy thing to say, but I mean, it is annoying.
Allarme. Nemico in avvicinamento.
Obviously, we love money in a society where we need money to survive, but we can hate the concept of that system at the same time.
A tutte le unità, ai posti di combattimento.
I think housing and living should be more affordable. Rent is too damn high. That's my big complaint about money. Everything else would be better if the rent wasn't so damn high.
Abbiamo preso la torretta! Problema risolto!
Utilizzare le porte precipitare. Aprire le randagliere delle armi.
Oh. I almost got stuck in the corner. I was ready for it. Yeah, what's up, Joe?
Stanno abbandonando Atene.
Cortana, quadro tattico.
L'esplosione proveniva dall'interno di Atene, come per Malta. L'attacco dei Covenant era mirato all'inserimento di una bomba.
Allora è sicuro che ne hanno portata una anche qui. Trovala, capo.
Cos'è quella? Un'arma o... Ah!
Avanti, capo, di qua.
Ero quasi a bordo quando sono...
Yo, chill.
Non tema, signora, siamo qui.
Why are you like? Why are you like?
Ehi, guardate! Malta ha già respinto
Signore,
gli
gli
assalitori.
assalitori sono nel centro di puntamento. Hanno una posizione attuale. Sì, ma avrò bisogno che il capo mi porti a contatto con il detonatore.
Capo raggiungeremo.
Echelon, vieni con me.
Non riesco a
Annientiamo
crederci.
quegli incrociatori uno alla volta.
Abbiamo vinto.
Secondo Echelon, tieni a bada i trasporti.
Registrazione di tutti i vascelli nemici a portata di tiro. 13 incrociatori, 2 trasporti d'assalto. Sarà un inferno.
I trasporti stanno sfondando, signore. Sono diretti verso il Cairo.
Lontana, concentra il fuoco sul primo
Grandkids. You think I can afford to have
trasporto. Fare il
kids?
possibile con il secondo.
Tutta informazione. Seguitemi.
Think I can
Il primo
convince
trasporto ci ha ignorato, signore. È
women
passato attraverso
to
i
love
detriti di
me?
Malta e si è diretto verso la terra.
Come
Giusto
on,
per
in this
farlo presente,
economy?
ci sono dei ranger elite a guardia della bomba. Pensa a qualcosa.
La missione non può aspettare, capo.
Diamoci una mossa, Marine! Reculiamo il luogo dello schianto, via!
Sergente, ho bisogno di te su quel mezzo.
Signora?
I miei Pelican stanno per iniziare a portare mezzi corazzati e rinforzi in città. Avranno bisogno di una scorta che non
How do you live? I'm dead! That's not fair! How do I get stuck? How does he live and how does he not stunned when I snipe him? Everything's not fair, man.
Beh, immagino che comunque fosse obsoleta. La tua nuova corazza è una Mark 6, arrivata questa mattina da Songnam. Vaci piano finché non padroneggi le nuove funzioni. Ok, verifichiamo il sistema di puntamento. Guarda la luce in alto. Bene, ora guarda la luce in basso. Perfetto. Di nuovo la luce in alto. Ci siamo. E ora quella in basso, ok? Sembra tutto a posto. Aspetta. Ora disattivo gli inibitori. Muoviti un po' per ambientarti. Quando sei pronto, vieni da me al comando a distanza. Fai attenzione perché non ho intenzione di ripetermi. Questa stazione verificherà gli scudi energetici a ricarica. Gli scudi della tua nuova corazza sono molto resistenti, molto efficaci. Tombola! Come puoi vedere, si ricaricano molto più velocemente. Se i tuoi scudi cedono, trovati un riparo e aspetta che l'indicatore ritorni al massimo.
Certo,
Blame
non
Toy
nascondersi
Chest.
dietro di me.
Does anyone else blame Toy
Allora,
Chest?
hai
I feel
finito
like it's
col mio
probably his
ragazzo?
fault.
Ormai se la cava anche da solo.
La sua corazza è a posto, Johnson, per cui tappati quella boccaccia. Puoi andare, figliolo, ma cerca di non strafare.
Tranquillo, lo terrò per mano.
Allora, Johnson, quando mi dirai come hai fatto a tornare qui tutto d'un pezzo?
Spiacente, segreto militare.
Ah, vai al diavolo! E scordati pure che ti sistemi il mirino della tua A2.
Oh, oggi è davvero di buon umore. Magari Lord Hood ha dimenticato di invitarlo. la Terra. Sono anni che non la vedo. Quando sono partito, la griglia di difesa orbitale era ancora un progetto nella mente dei politici. E ora guarda, il Cairo è soltanto una delle 300 piattaforme geostazionarie. Il fucile Khan potrebbe trapassare una nave da guerra Covenant. Il fuoco concentrato di Atene e Malta nulla potrebbe
Johnson sounds gruff, especially in that first line when he's like, "Ah, la terra." It's sounds like he just smoked a pack.
Stamattina che arrivano astronavi. Nessuno dice molto, ma c'è qualcosa di grosso nell'aria.
Did we lose 15 seconds to show Johnson's cigar? Maybe all we need is Johnson's cigar to bless the run.
Questa non è un'esercitazione. Ripeto, non è un'esercitazione.
No, stop shooting. Guys, I don't want to die. Let's test the theory. For the price of 1 sub, I will show the Johnson cigar Easter egg on this run. That's what it takes to make me lose a little bit of time.
Stanno abbandonando Atene.
The offer's gonna expire in about 45 seconds because it's coming up.
L'attacco dei Covenant era mirato all'inserimento di una bomba.
Allora è sicuro che ne hanno portata una anche qui. Trovala, capo.
Yo, somebody gifted. Let's go. We take it. Alright, I'll show it.
Cos'è quella? Un'arma o...
I don't die here. I almost went to go pick up the skull out of habit. Want the skull. You guys gotta chill. Come on, get up there. Don't kill me. You guys don't know. Next to the skull, that's a cigar. Alright. Continue on with the run. Worth.
Avanti, capo, di qua.
Ero quasi a bordo quando sono comparso.
Non tema, signora, siamo qui.
Signore, gli assalitori sono nel centro di puntamento. Hanno una bomba.
Puoi disarmarla?
Sì, ma avrò bisogno che il capo mi porti a contatto con il detonatore.
Capremo.
Echelon, vieni con me.
Condizione
Annientiamo
attuale,
quegli
passo.
incrociatori uno alla volta. Secondo Echelon, tieni a bada i trasporti. Non riesco a
Registrazione
crederci.
di
Si
tutti i vascelli
ritirano.
nemici a
Abbiamo
portata
vinto.
di tiro. 13 incrociatori, 2 trasporti d'assalto. Sarà un inferno.
I trasporti stanno sfondando, signore. Sono diretti verso il Cairo.
Cortana, concentra il fuoco sul primo trasporto. Ammiraglio, bisogna fare il possibile con il secondo.
Tutta informazione. Seguitemi.
Please. Man, I
Il
missed the
primo
plasma
trasporto
pistol.
ci ha ignorato, signore. È passato attraverso i detriti di Malta e si è diretto verso la Terra. Giusto per farlo presente, ci sono dei ranger elite a guardia della bomba. Pensa a qualcosa.
Muoviamoci. È andato.
I was gonna frag. What are you doing up there? Who told you to climb up there? Man, I'm getting owned. I'm gonna take a 5-minute chess break. Let's play a little bit of chess. Refresh the mental.
Slayer.
Chess with ambient ascension noises. This is what the world needs. Just gonna take a short break here, play a little bit of Bullet. Get back to 2100 maybe. Kind of taking that bishop. I can't believe I fucked this up. Man, we drew because he didn't have any pieces, but I should have been able to win that. It's a draw because he had. Man, I should have won. I ran out of time. I was too slow. Fine. That was an easy win. Slow. push that. Get this. Move this. This guy in the game. Big chat. Alright, got a W. Where are you going, actually? Right. I never did that, but tactics. Made him move his knight so that I could. Tactics. No, I stalemated. I knew it was stalemated as soon as I made the move too. I'm so stupid. Dang, I don't do that very often. I tried to let it go and I screwed it up. Dang. I was winning, obviously. I fucked it up. But at least I didn't lose. That was a decent game too until the end. Kind of disappointed with that. But it happens. It's just, especially 1 minute. I could sack here. I thought the tactic I found was really cool. Making him move his knight so that I could take the pawn. No, I would have been happy to win that game. Can't really get my bishop in the game until I do something with these pawns. I don't mind going down a pawn here. I want that queen off the board. I can get my pawn or my stuff into the game now. My bishop is free. After 5,000 years, it's finally free. Finally attack his weak pawn. No, man, I'm winning. I'm just too slow. I finally get a position I like. I just too slow. I've been playing pretty good in all of these games, I feel like, minus being a little slow. We did it. We checkmated our lower rated opponent. I was never in any trouble here, was I? I saw I mean, he's obviously has some form of attack here coming, but I don't think I was ever in trouble. Maybe, looks like I made a bad move. Oh, I was just supposed to, what did I play? I saw that I could take this pawn. It says I should take here instead also, but I don't know. Attacking the queen and bullet's never a bad move, is it? I don't know, he just blunders me. But it wasn't game losing. Whatever. One blunder from me. We keep on. I'm gonna play a couple more. I'll get back to the Halo in a minute. I just realized you guys can't hear the pieces move, which I like. I like being able to hear the pieces. Just can hear them now. I actually can't play without sound. The pieces is very important for me to like know when my opponent moved and keep tempo with the game. I'm up a pawn, even if it's a doubled pawn. I'm happy if he trades. I don't really care. Advantage of my majority over here. I'm over here. I should be winning this, I'm pretty sure. I don't think you can hold down both sides of the board here. Especially I have this move. Can I break through? Do I know how to do this? He has to make a move. I have opposition, he has to make a move. Now I should just win. We did it. We won. I was winning going into that end game, I'm pretty sure. It might have, and the computer might say it was a draw somewhere around here, but I feel like I was winning the whole time. Yeah, okay, I messed up once. This This is where I did get a little confused. This is where I said, do I know how to win this? I figured it out. So, yeah, pretty good. Alright, 1 or 2 more. I'll get back to the Halo, I swear. We're not done. I just want to take a break. I'll trade everything here. I'm usually pretty good in the pawn end games, so I don't mind trading like everything off the rip. Some people are really, they like to do their attacks with all of their pieces, which you should do as like a rule of thumb. Try to get all of your pieces involved. Like right now I've moved every single one of my pieces. But I don't mind trading them and giving them away as part of my attack. Because I just want to get down to an end game where it's simple enough, especially in 1 minute, where I can calculate, like, if it's simple, I can calculate the whole ending and basically see, will this pawn turn into a queen or won't it? And if I can turn the pawn into a queen, then I'm usually winning. This one's complicated. If he takes here, am I worried? Come here. I'm losing. I can never get my pieces involved enough. Come back. Oh, I can't like that though. Just too hard. I'm too slow. I was losing this whole time, but yeah, I can't do it. You got me. Oh, we're facing a titled player. This guy's a national master, which means he's like attended tournaments and proved he's actually pretty good at the game. And we're gonna beat him because I always beat the titled players that I face. I suspect anyone that's like 2100 and titled is like an old player and they're slow, and I'm just faster than them. Because my win rate against titled players really is like super high. I basically always win. I think it's mostly old people. I always get excited when I face titled players, though. It's a cool experience. I want to do. It kind of cuts off my queen. He could have maybe gone here and scared me a little. He had this with check. Turns out my assessment is true. Old and slow. I don't know who it is, but they're always old and slow. I do like facing titled players. It's pretty cool. You can favorite your games. Alright, I'll play a couple more. A national master from USA is probably like somebody that I've heard of. Maybe not necessarily, but I keep up with a lot of the chess world. It's not the move I expected. It's mate. Can you stop it? He has to take, right? Then I go here, and then he pushes here, and I go here, and we go here, and we don't have mate. Which is terrifying news, because I'm gonna lose. No, it's a draw. I should have won 0.01. Man. At least I didn't lose on time. I should have won that though. It's a draw. I should have gone here with that last move. I think it was this mate instead of taking. Oh. Okay. Man. Game sucks. Thrown a couple easy wins. I'm winning basically every one of these games though. If I don't win, it's like ending in a stalemate or a draw that I probably should have won. I'm feeling pretty good. This first guy is just like full on hung a piece today. It's good to see. It's bullet, people do that. I don't even care if you want to exchange back. I think I should win 2 pieces versus a rook here. Should be a fun exercise. Really, I can do it without getting my knight trapped. Or already trapped my knight. I couldn't find a move for it, yeah. Okay. We got 2 pieces out of it. Or 2 pawns. We'll push here. Then I'll trap his rook. And now we're not lost, I don't think. Maybe we are. Get this pawn rolling. It's gonna have to swing over and stop it. Then I come here. I wanna get. Need to get. Oh, I can do this, and then if he takes, then still, yep, nice, good find me. That's how we do it. We did it. Sacrifice the bishop to promote the pawn. Okay, we went back and forth there a lot. I was probably missing that same bishop move over and over again, wasn't I? Yeah, the game was just screaming at me, find this bishop move. Eventually I found it, and then I pushed it. And that's what this back and forth on this is telling me to find the bishop move. It's fun. I feel like he's busted, isn't he? More than I am. I already see the discover check, but this is gonna be more devastating, isn't it? Maybe not. Not more devastating. Oh, we can take that. Shit. Whatever, we can still flag him. We're not lost. Game's easy. Game's easy, don't worry. We were winning. We're allowed to dirty flag him. I'm gonna get back to 2100 here. We're almost there. We're at what? 2093. I don't usually win games by like full on like fake moving. Like I think playing like pre-moving is fine, like playing fast to like win a game is fine, but if you're doing moves that are bad and you're just hoping your opponent doesn't notice and you're just playing so fast you're just rattling off moves, I don't usually play that way, but sometimes when your position's completely busted, you just have to. That's the only chance you have to win. People call it dirty flagging. Because in chess, when you lose on time, it's called a flag. Because back when people were old and played chess, you used to have a literal flag on your side of the board, and the clock would fall over with the flag when you lost. So the bishop's good in the end game because it can play on both sides of the board. This is what I've been told. Gotcha. You hate that clock? I've played on one, actually, and they do suck. I don't even trust their accuracy to set them to be equal on time. I don't know why anyone trusts them in, like, a time scramble, because you can't even set them accurately. They're stupid. And then, like, the little flag will fall over, and you're like, yeah, you're out of time, but, like, yeah, like, I don't know. I don't trust. I understand why the old heads of chess, like the really old people, didn't respect any form of blitz or bullet, because it's impossible to even, like, keep a proper time. It makes sense why there was no real blitz or bullet tournaments for like a couple hundred years of chess. Also, I'm 1 win away from 2100. This was another good win. I was happy. Wait, let me what happened in this game? I already forgot. Let me recap. I did an end game with knight versus bishop that I just infiltrated with the king, took the pawns, and crushed. Yeah. I guess I didn't do great around here. What did I miss? Yeah, I didn't really know what to do here. Someone challenged me. Who challenged me? I'll play you. Let me play one more ranked game, Joe, and then I'll play you. If you still want to play. I want to get to 2100. This game should do it if we win or draw. Wouldn't say I'm lost here. Definitely not comfortable though. Too slow. Alright. We flagged him. We were losing, but I'm fast. Alright, I'll play you, Joe, if you still want to play. 11-0. I've beaten you. Oh, he's here. He's here. Okay. I lost? Did I just lose? I think I just lost. I think I just did. I did lose. He missed it. Sometimes lucky. Panic sets in. There was checkmate there. If instead of taking here, he takes here. I can't stop this, can I? I guess I could go here, but then he takes and it's still just cooked. Oh, he can just take this. Oh, I was too busy looking at the other position. Whatever. Alright. Pay attention here. Finish this game out. Respect Jill's time. Go here. You had me. I messed up when you moved your knight over here. It's gonna say there's gonna be a huge spike for white like somewhere right here. Yeah. Yeah, taking the rook was a mistake. You should have taken the knight. And I should have moved my knight. I missed this move. Okay. So I was fine until I should have played that move. Yeah. Hanging your queen definitely didn't help. Alright, we made it to 2100. Let's lose one game and then play some Halo. getting away with nonsense. Yeah. I shouldn't play games and win like this, but sometimes you got to, you know? You should have taken the knight. Yeah, that's what I said. I guess you missed it, but yeah. Taking the knight instead of the rook would have set you up for a way stronger attack. Yeah, that was a decent game, I guess. But you hung a piece in the open, and then I messed up, and then you messed up. So I think both of us played a bad game, to be honest. But you had me. You gotta not hang pieces. You hung a piece on like move 3. That's the biggest blunder new players make. Is like you moved out your knight on like move 3, and I took it. I'm on a roll. I can't stop. I'm gonna go to Halo as soon as I lose. I can't stop. I'm on a winning streak. Can't take this. Threatening checkmate, so he wants to take this. Yeah, he gave up. I seen it all. This was a good game, wasn't it? I feel like I never really in any danger, played good defense, and then took all his pieces. Yeah. Perfect game according to the engine. These are pretty rare to get like, oh, I did blunder, dang. To get like a perfect game where you make 0 blunders, 0 mistakes. And Bullet, like even at 2100, everyone blunders a little. It's hard to get like a perfect game according to the computer. Especially because I play a subpar opening. I'm usually making an inaccuracy by like move 2 or 3. Just I like moving my knights in the open, and then the pawn structure that I make afterwards the computer never likes, but I can get over it because I win a lot. That's not really the move I wanted to make. Do I ever have anything here? Not really. I just don't have anything. Sacrificed too much. Sacrificed it all. No. What have I done? You might be messing this up, homie. He ran out of time. He was crushing on time. He was up like 20 seconds to 5, wasn't he? What was the times there? 10 seconds to 1? Wasn't he like way up on time? 25 to 14, 20 to 10? Okay, yeah. You're in trouble here. I don't know what the follow-up is. I can't find it. That probably wasn't it. I'm happy with this. I'm getting pawns. It's not the checkmate that it should have been, but I'm still winning. I'm gonna mess this up. I've already messed it. He ran out of time again. I'm not stopping until I lose, I guess. My opponents keep running out of time. I'm gonna keep going. I should have been winning that. And I did win, but only because he ran out of time, not because I could actually find the real win. Too fast for these slowpokes. Let's move. No, he still had 4 seconds. Alright, we finally lost. Let's get back to the Halo. I said I was gonna go back when I lost. It's time. It is time. Did I really just play for like 50 minutes or something? Yeah, 2100. I'm getting decent. My best is 2250. I go up and down quite a bit though. I know watching bullet chess is not that exciting if you're not good at chess, but it's a good break from me grinding real games, and I have fun with it. I really like the competitiveness of the fact that there's a ranking system that is very accurate and also has a huge population and player pool. Makes it so that almost every game you play is against somebody of equal skill level, and that just feels really cool. Like, you can hop on at any moment of the day, grind some games, and like, I was playing a new opponent there every single time. Did you see how long I had to wait for games? The queue was instant, literally 1 second queue, and I'm in a game with a new stranger playing a game of chess. You have the option to rematch if you want. I usually don't, because I don't really trust rematching people. If you beat them, they sometimes might cheat. If you like lose to them, why would I rematch someone who just beat me? I don't know. Maybe I could beat them back, but like, the new opponent button is just gives me a new opponent every time. So I usually just go for a new opponent every time. There is a little bit of cheating in chess, but at the 1 minute, it's so rare because the games are so fast. So the game mode that I play the most is like pretty much all legit players, and I can just queue at any moment and match against other people that are just as good as me. And that makes like growing on the rating system a lot of fun too, because like when I started I wasn't 2000 and now I am, so like I just set goals as I went to like just gain 100 points, gain 100 points, and over time gained a lot.
Bene, ora guarda la luce in basso. Perfetto. Di nuovo la luce in alto. Ci siamo. E ora quella in basso, ok?
So
Sembra tutto a posto.
10% of your games you win because of flag. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the game for online chess, though. Like, managing your time is... If you think for longer than your opponent, then you're using up your time. Like, that's part of the game. If you want more time to think, there are obviously longer game modes, but when you play online, nobody really likes those. Yeah, the idea of stalling is really annoying. As soon as you start winning, people just waste their entire clock. I don't play on chess.com, but apparently there's like a mode where you can go on vacation, and if you have an old account, you like store up vacation days. So if you're mad about losing, you can just take a vacation and it'll pause the game for like 30 days or something. Which is crazy to me. I don't know the exact details because I don't even play on chess.com. I play online chess, but being able to just like be mad that you're losing and just pause the game and like go away is really annoying. So the shorter games kind of get rid of a lot of that. People still do it in 1 minute chess. Actually, one of my favorite things to do when people do that is counterintuitively, I give them more time. So on Lead Chess, you have the ability to give your opponent plus 15 seconds. So as soon as I realize that they're trying to run down the clock and waste my time, I'm usually doing something else while I'm playing chess, like watching a YouTube video or something. So I don't mind wasting my time. So I'll just like give them 15 seconds and then wait for it to tick down to 1 second, and then give them 15 seconds, and after a while they'll rage quit and they'll type like angry stuff in the chat, or they'll just like leave instead of like letting the clock tick down. They'll actually resign. It's a way to mentally win that battle. They thought they were winning the battle by wasting my time. I waste their time, and now I am the victor of this online petty feud.
meccanismo.
Saying just resign is different. I see, like, telling your opponent to just resign is also stupid. Like, if it's your turn, make a move. Don't sit there and type, don't sit there and waste time. Make a move. Like, if the other guy wants to checkmate you, let them checkmate you. If you don't want to be checkmated, resign. Like, just the act of sitting there and not making a move is the only, like, disrespectful way to play chess. Like, if it's your turn and you're telling your opponent to resign, or even if it's their turn and you're telling your opponent to resign, shut up. Like, if they're honestly playing the game and you're only up a piece, like... I don't know. I lose games up a piece all the time, so does everybody else. Some people get cocky and try to tell people when to resign, and that's a ridiculous way to play too. Just make a move. Just don't waste people's time. It's your turn, make a move. Or yeah, stealing your opponent's smothered mate dreams is also a sign of disrespect, but at least that one's understandable. Nobody wants to be smothered. Yeah, you really shouldn't worry about going up or down 100 points. Like, if you're good enough, then you'll get your rating back. If you weren't supposed to be at that rating, then who cares? Now you'll have more even matches. Like, long term, I go up and down 100 points all the time. But still, the overall trajectory is still positive, or over the years I've gotten better. So like, a rating fluctuation of 100 points here and there doesn't really mean anything. Also, it depends on last time you've played, because the rating is really a reflection of the recent pool, not the historic pool. So like, if you were playing in 2015 and you took a long break and now you're playing again today, 1,000 is a different rating. 1,000 in the old pool, it's an entirely new pool today of players. So you might not be 1,000 anymore. You might be lower or higher rated. And also you're probably rusty, so you're definitely going to be lower rated.
Signore, gli assalitori sono nel centro di puntamento. Hanno una bomba. Sì, ma avrò bisogno che il capo portato alla volta.
From what I've heard, people are way better now than they used to be. So like, if you were playing online in like 2015 and you were 1,000, you were, or versus like 1,000 today, the 1,000s today are just like way better. Apparently people think the 1,000s are cracked. I don't know if I'm buying it. I started playing in, when did I start playing? Like, let me check this account. This account was made in... Where is it? Tell me somewhere. Looks like 2020. I started like sometime during the pandemic is when I started grinding online games. So since then, I don't know if I've really noticed a difference in the online pool. Maybe people are slightly better. I don't know if I've noticed a difference though. I've gotten better though as well, so like, it's hard to really know because I've been consistently growing during the time, so I guess I don't really have a good frame of reference.
Ok, verifichiamo il sistema di puntamento. Guarda la luce in alto. Bene, ora guarda la luce in basso. Perfetto. Di nuovo la luce in alto. Ci siamo. E ora quella in basso, ok? Sembra tutto a posto.
I still don't know any openings. I really need to learn one. I started trying to learn the London system for white, but I don't know any for black. I want to start playing the like actual openings. Because a lot of my chess games are, I play a pretty standard safe approach in the open. I get my knights out, I get my bishops out, I get castled, I make a couple pawn moves in the middle, but I don't really have any structure or knowledge or long-term plans. I start making them during the game, and I just kind of try to trade pieces that favor me. In general, I want to get rid of pieces in the middle, and I don't want to double my own pawns. If I can double my opponent's pawns, I do that. I want to keep the bishop alive that's protecting my king. If I can take their bishops, I'll do it. And other than that, I just kind of try to play with principles. And so I don't really have any traps or any tricks or any like memorized stuff that... If I could just have a consistent like starting point in the middle game and know like a long-term plan, like get my queen here, get my bishop here, maybe start thinking about attacking here, I feel like I could probably gain another couple hundred points.
La terra. Sono anni che non la vedo.
The London system seems really good for me for white because it's kind of exactly what I want, where it's more of like a lazy approach to it, where you just put your pieces on the right squares and hope the game works out. But there's a lot I can still learn. But I at least know the few first opening moves of the London system now. That's the first opening I've really learned. Learning an opening with black seems so much harder. I don't know how noobs do it. People are always people that are way worse than me are always talking about all of the openings that they're trying. But like, how do you try these openings when like your opponent just like doesn't play into them, and like how are you memorizing these moves? I have like 50,000 games and I can't really remember openings like that. I'm winning a lot of games. I'm like top 1% in terms of like skill, but I don't know how like new players are being taught openings. I feel like you shouldn't even bother teaching new players openings. I feel like teaching them more principles like I was describing, saying like make sure you get castled pretty early and stuff like that is way more important. I guess some of it's because the openings are being marketed by the professionals. I think there's actually a really weird disconnect in professional chess where their job is to market materials to train new players and like teach them you can beat anybody with this opening and like this is what I use to become a grandmaster. And while all of that's true, there's a little bit of dishonesty in it all because like some players are just never going to be grandmasters. Like, if they're buying your courses and they're like rated 500 and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna become a grandmaster, and they're like a 28-year-old man who's never played chess in their life, it's a little bit dishonest to sell the course like that, I feel like. There's a lot of people who like post on the subreddit and be like, what do I need to do to become a grandmaster? I'm 25 years old and I just started watching these videos. The answer is there's nothing you can do to become a grandmaster. You simply will not. It is not possible. It's already like 1% of the 1% become grandmasters. And then if you start so late in life, it's just like it's the equivalent of asking like, how do I join the NBA? Like you're an adult, you don't join the NBA. If you knew how to join the NBA, you would have been doing it since your teen years. If you weren't doing it during then you're not doing it now.
L'attacco dei Covenant era mirato all'inseguimento della truppa.
Allora è sicuro che ne hanno portata una anche qui. Trovala, capo.
Yeah, unless you're 7 foot tall, maybe you could make it with zero training. Like maybe you could grab a guy who's never contacted civilization, some 7 foot dude, and put him in the court. But like, if you're not 7 foot, the equivalent in chess, you would know if you're a chess prodigy. Like you wouldn't have to ask other people how to become a grandmaster, because you would just know. Like that would be the equivalent of being 7 foot tall, is you would realize how to play the game. You wouldn't really have to like be buying all of these materials and asking other people what's the route. You would just do it. So like all of these materials and courses that are being sold are like only being sold to players who can't really benefit from them. It's always like noobs and players who don't need that who are buying it. But I can't blame the grandmasters because that's the only way they can make a living. So they're marketing this material that's like marketed towards experts, and they're selling it to non-experts. And nobody ever like, I don't know. I feel like there's just like an untold secret there that nobody talks about, and the secret is that like 0% of people become grandmasters.
I trasporti stanno sfondando, signore, sono diretti verso il Cairo.
Cortana, concentra il fuoco sul primo trasporto. Ammiraglio, bisogna fare il possibile con il secondo.
Tutta informazione, seguitemi.
Stop shooting at me. The only way to really get trained into being a grandmaster, like from another grandmaster, is to start at a young age and basically like one-on-one train and like take on like extensive. Like you have to become a grandmaster, you have to take it on as a lifestyle, and you have to do it like a professional sports athlete player does it from a young age and consistently for most of your life. No way does he punch me like that. That's crazy. It's called a grift. Yeah, but it's not... The thing is, it's not really a grift because the information they're giving is true. Like, I consider grift to be more like the bullshit fitness guides and eat my fitness plan and like the people that are using steroids and then selling those fitness plans. That's grift in my opinion. The people who are selling supplements that do nothing, like brain gains and like I consider all of that grift. But the fact that what the grandmasters are selling is real authentic knowledge. Like they are selling real courses, but the people who are buying them aren't experienced enough to put it to use. So it's not really grift, it's just like there's an unspoken ecosystem where nobody talks about it, where the noobs buying the resources really absolutely should not be spending any money on anything. But the grandmasters can't say that because their livelihood depends on noobs buying their resources.
Guarda la luce in alto. Bene, ora guarda la luce in basso. Perfetto. Di nuovo la luce in alto. Ci siamo. E ora quella in basso, ok? Sembra tutto a posto. Aspetta. Ora disattivo gli inibitori. Muoviti un po' per ambientarti. Quando sei pronto, vieni da me al comando a distanza.
You never bought a chess book ever. Yeah, and for most, like, if you're just a casual player, you shouldn't. Like, all of the information is on YouTube. All of the information is easily accessible on the internet. Unless you're trying to make a professional career out of chess, you really shouldn't spend any money on it. And that's a annoying truth because so many grandmasters' livelihoods depend on you spending money on chess. Chess is weird.
Certo, può nascondersi dietro di me. Allora, hai finito col mio ragazzo? Ormai se la cava anche da solo.
La sua corazza è a posto. Puoi andare, figliolo, ma cerca di non strafare.
Tranquillo, lo terrò per mano.
Allora, Johnson,
I think it's kind of true for coaching for almost anything, to be honest. Esports players sell coaching as well, like... Whenever you take coaching lessons from a professional esports player, they can teach you how to be good, but they can't teach you how to be pro. Like, you're never...
La terra. Sono anni che non la vedo.
I don't know. I guess it depends on what your long-term goals are as well. Like, you can pick up nuggets and how to get better, but these professional players just have a thing in them that has made them grind it for 8 hours a day for their whole lives. So the idea that they could just instill that knowledge into you relatively quickly is crazy. You're never gonna be able to reach that unless you too can commit 8 hours of your day for the rest of your life. Do I think you can become an astronaut? You know, honestly, I don't think 30 is too old to be an astronaut, is it? I think with the science background, you probably could, I mean, realistically apply to NASA and go through with that route, but it wouldn't be easy. I think you probably wouldn't be able to just because it's so rare that anybody gets accepted, but there's probably a route. You're probably not too old to do it if you have a science degree and you're physically fit. I think there's a bunch of requirements that you might be excluded on. I don't know your like height or weight. I think you have to be within. You can't be too tall. You can't be too short. You have to be able to fit in their suits. I think becoming an astronaut might be like easier than becoming a chess grandmaster, as crazy as that sounds. I mean, how many astronauts have there been throughout the history of space exploration? Hundreds, surely, right? You know, there's only been 1,000 grandmasters, like, all time. It's up to, like, 1,500 now. I'm not saying that there's more necessarily than astronauts, but people have been playing chess longer than they've been going to space. Also, chess is more accessible, like, chess is something that, like, everybody can play.
Allora è sicuro che ne hanno portata una anche qui. Trovala, capo.
What does it take to be considered a grandmaster? You have to go to tournaments and do very well, like in-person events. There's certain requirements of those tournaments. There has to be other grandmasters there, and you have to perform good enough. It's called getting a norm. If you attend one of these tournaments and there's enough good people there and you do good enough, then you earn one norm. You have to get 3 different norms from 3 different international events, also with different formats. So it needs to be like 1 Swiss tournament and 2 double elimination tournaments, or some combination of, like, it can't all be the same exact type of tournament. And if you get 3 different norms and you also achieve a rating of 2,500, then you can become a grandmaster. Those terms, like, placing high enough in those tournaments basically means getting like top 1 or 2 in a field of a bunch of other, like, expert players. And you have to do it 3 times.
Il primo trasporto ci ha ignorato, signore. È passato attraverso i detriti di Malta e si è diretto verso la Terra. Giusto per farlo presente, ci sono dei ranger elite a guardia della bomba. Pensa a qualcosa. La missione non può aspettare, capo.
Diamoci una mossa, Marine.
Yeah, Magnus is the GOAT. I was watching his game this morning. He beat Nils Grandelius with the black pieces. I watch most of the big tournaments that Magnus is playing in, basically all of them. Yesterday he drew Arjun Erigaisi. This is Magnus's first return to classical chess in 2026. He's basically been soft retired from the classical format of chess, which is so I was just playing bullet chess, which are the really short games that take 1 minute. Classical chess is the really long games that take hours. And Magnus kind of retired from that because they were slow and boring and he got tired of it. But he's playing in a tournament right now. And he just won a game this morning.
Ricevuto. Ti terrò d'occhio io. In bocca al lupo, capo.
Facciamoci vedere.
It's so easy to be a Magnus fan. That dude's insane. He wins everything. Last year, he won like basically everything between like 2025 and 2026. He entered like 10, 15 different tournaments, and every single one he won. It's so rare for anybody else to be able to do that. He's just on another level. It's crazy. There's tiers to chess, and his tier is like 2 tiers higher than the next best person. His off day still will sometimes win tournaments. His good day, he's like untouchable. Has to be cheating. I mean, some people have suspected it, but he's been like just proven like at every point that he's legit. There's no way he could be cheating unless he's got a tiny little man inside of his head googling the answers for him. But like, he's faster than Stockfish on like bullet games and stuff. His intuition, his speed, like he's better than computers in some ways. Like he solves puzzles faster than computers do. His recall, like the stuff he does can't be faked. People ask him, you can show him a position and flash it in front of him for like literally 1 second, and he will tell you the exact game that it was from, even if it's from like the 1940s. He'll be like, yeah, that is this game from round 12 in the 1940s tournament in Monaco. And he just knows. And it's every game ever, pretty much. Like, if there's been a tournament, he just knows it. And he's able to... His recall is so good that, like, for like games of the past, he doesn't even need to see the actual pieces. They test him and they, like, blur out the board so that all of the pieces are only white or black circles, so it's like a game of checkers. And then he says, oh, this is the knight, this is the king, this is the queen, and this game was from 1962. And he can just like immediately tell you like, boom, boom, boom. Like, there's other grandmasters who are like I said, lifelong professionals. They spend their whole life dedicating it to chess, who are top 10 in the world, who they are blown away by Magnus's ability to just recall everything. Like, this dude is just the chess goat. He just knows. His peers are like starstruck by him. Watching some of the clips from his streams is incredible. The things he says. He'll enter a position with like crazy complexity and he'll be like, oh, I've never played this before, but I saw this in a study like 10 years ago. And then he'll play it to perfection, which is like study like in games or things that people like spend hours and hours like crafting so that each move is an intricate idea. And he'll just rattle off a 10-15 move sequence of something he studied 10 years ago that he never even had the chance to play. He'll be like, I always wanted to play this. and it'll just like no one in the world has ever even played it, and he's like, yeah, I know this. The stuff he does is really crazy.
Ci sono.
Un altro contatto.
Forza, andiamo.
In arrivo. Concentrazione.
And it's also crazy because chess is such an ego-driven game. Like, the guys at the top have such huge egos. They know they're the best, but all of them know that Magnus is the best. Like, if you ask them, like, name the best player in the world right now, not a single one of them would say themselves. Which, like, other sports players would say themselves. Even if they're not literally ranked #1, they would say, me, just give me a little bit of time, or like, wait till I cook this year, or something like that. Like, to reach that level at any sport, you have to, like, have that kind of, like, ego. And chess players do. But Magnus is so much better that, like, everyone just recognizes that he's better. It's not a question. Like, all of the interviews, all of the questions, just 100% of his peers know that he's just built different.
Ho qui un altro nemico.
In quell'edificio sono intrappolati diversi marini. Concentrati sui raid, sono i più pericolosi.
That's not fair, dude. I didn't even make a mistake. Sometimes you just get got. Then the question becomes, other than Magnus, who's the best at chess? I mean, you would have to say Fabi because of the rating. He's the #2 rated in the world, but he did just not win the candidates tournament, which he was expected and favored to win. So if you're talking like on hot streaks, then Sindorov is probably the best player other than Magnus. Sindorov just won the candidates tournament, which is the biggest tournament of the couple years. It's how it decides who's going to be world champion. Whoever wins the candidates tournament gets to fight the world champion. And the current world champion is Gukesh. Like I said, Magnus retired, so he's not champ. So Gukesh is now the champ. And it just got decided who would challenge him. It's now a guy named Sindorov. And they're going to play in December. And that'll decide who the next champ is. Either Gukesh will defend, and he will be the defending champion, or Sindorov will dethrone him, and he will be the new champion. It's pretty... The odds are favoring Sindorov right now. Sindorov's on a really hot streak. He just crushed it at this recent tournament. He's been crushing it for a year. If you wanted to say who's in the best form other than Magnus, it's probably him.
Muoviti un po' per ambientarti. Quando sei pronto, vieni da me al comando a distanza.
But that's just on recency bias. That's like in the last 6 months. If you want to talk like in the last like 6 years, it's probably Fabiano Caruana. Fabi has had some really impressive tournaments. He won Sinkfield with like 11 out of 11 or 10 out of 11 or something. One of the most stacked tournaments. He's had an insane few years. The only problem is he just keeps losing the world championship to Magnus. He tied the world championship against Magnus. They drew 13 or 15, I think it was 13 games in a row. They played every single day. They had one break like every week or something, but they would play one game and it would take between 6 and 8 hours. Just one game they would sit there and it would end in a draw, and then they would come back and do it again tomorrow. And they did this for 2 weeks straight. It took them 13 draws, and eventually they had to go to tiebreakers. And Magnus won in the tiebreakers. Instead of having 6 hours, they only had like an hour or something. Like they had a shorter amount of time. And in the shorter amount of time, Magnus won. But Fabi came the closest to beating Magnus. Fabi like drew him over and over and over, took him to the edge. Fabi was like that close to being world champion. Magnus just too strong. Dude, I couldn't imagine playing a game of chess for 8 hours. I think the longest game they had took 12 hours. They start with like 3 hours each, and so that means the game can take 6 hours, right? But every time you make a move, you also get more time. So if you make a lot of moves, then you gain a lot of time, and you get a lot of free minutes back. And the game went like 100 and something moves, and so they gained a lot of time back. And the whole thing took like 12 hours. To be world champion, you have to beat the current champion. Yeah, that's normally how you have to become champion. But Magnus stepped down, so then it was vacant. There was nobody to defend it. So what they did was they still hosted that tournament, the candidates tournament. But instead of it being only the first place gets to challenge the champion, they took the first and second place from the candidates tournament and then had a playoff where they fight against each other for the championship. So then whoever won that was the new world champion. So Magnus retired, said, I don't want to do it anymore. So they have to do a new champion. They can't just like stop existing as a sport. So the new champion was just decided by a new set of tournaments. And that was Ding from China. Ding Liren was the first champion, and then he got sick and he wasn't able to play much. So he basically didn't play for like an entire year. And then Nepo had a chance to beat him but failed. So Ding actually defended his title once and then went inactive again and basically didn't play at all for another 2 years. And then Gukesh came along and beat Ding, and so now Gukesh is the champion. So Gukesh actually did beat the current champ to become champ. So his title is like legitimate. He went through the process, he beat the champ, he became the champ. The only problem is he didn't beat Magnus. So like everyone still knows that Magnus is the GOAT. That's why the whole system's weird right now. But Gukesh is a legitimate champion. He went through the whole process. He won the candidates tournament. He beat the current champion. He did the Pokemon League. He beat the Elite Four. He did it all.
Stanno abbandonando Atene.
Cortana, quadro tattico.
L'esplosione proveniva dall'interno di Atene, come tremante. L'attacco dei Covenant era mirato all'inserimento di una bomba.
Allora è sicuro che ne hanno portata una anche qui. Trovala, capo.
I wouldn't be surprised if Magnus comes back and takes the title back and then retires again. That'd be kind of cool. Why did I sort there?
Ero quasi a bordo quando sono comparsi.
I don't think he will, but it would be kind of cool. He's got a wife and a kid now, though, so his priorities have changed. But he is playing classical chess again. Maybe it's a sign.
Sì, ma avrò bisogno del
Secondo
carro
Echelon,
morte,
tieni
colorazione
a
di
bada i
qualità.
trasporti.
Raggiungi la bomba in
Registrazione
fretta.
di tutti i vascelli nemici a portata di tiro.
Priorità
13
di
Non riesco a crederci. Si ritirano.
Sarà un
Abbiamo vinto. I trasporti stanno sfondando, signore. Sono diretti verso il Cairo.
Cortana, concentro il fuoco.
So I think Magnus can recall every game he's ever played. Every like serious tournament game, he does know like all of them. He might not remember like every blitz or bullet or casual game he's played, but his tournament games he does. He like actually remembers them
Il
all.
primo trasporto ci ha ignorato, signore. È passato attraverso i detriti di Malta e si è diretto verso la Terra. Giusto per farlo presente, ci sono dei ranger elite a guardia della bomba. Pensa a qualcosa.
Is that normal? Some grandmasters can remember a ton of their games in particular because they played them. Especially like if you ask them to recall a recent game, they will be able to fully recall their recent games. But the level that Magnus recalls like every historic game, not even just his own, but like other people's games, is like insane. Will you not do the... Alright, well that was a complicated clear, but we got there. But I don't know, as a competitive player myself for some games, you don't have to memorize them like people think. Every game tells a story, like especially if you remember the events leading up to the tournament. You remember your practice, you remember what you're planning, you remember the story that you were intending on telling with the game. Like, you have a plan, you have an opening. Like, did the opponent fall into your prep? Which opening did you play? So you don't have to really remember every detail. You kind of just chunk it. So Magnus remembers, like, oh, I was playing the Sicilian Open back in this year. And then, so he knows the first, like, 10 moves of that opening or whatever. So that's like just a huge chunk that like helps you memorize things faster. And then he remembers the opponent and he says, oh, this guy fell into this idea or didn't fall into that idea. And then you explore down like what that means. And so he just has such a vast knowledge of like all of chess that it's the way he remembers it is just like he remembers all of it.
Ricevuto. Il rodocchio io. In bocca al lupo, capo.
Facciamoci vedere.
And chess is a game where like every opening has a name, right? So most of the openings have one or two like well-known lines, and those lines became famous because some random guy played them in a tournament 100 years ago. So when you're becoming a chess master, one of the common ways you do it is you study the old masters and you learn all those random lines they played 100 years ago. So he just remembers all of those. He remembers which master made every line popular, and he remembers the tournament it came from. And he knows like all of them.
Capo, il trasporto ha lanciato un'ondata di capsule. Si stanno avvicinando alla nostra posizione.
It's a lot easier when it's your own personal story to remember, I feel like. I remember like playing in different tournaments, especially I play a game called Killer Queen, which is like a 5 versus 5 team game. I remember a lot of the tournaments pretty well because we make like bracket runs. I remember the teams we face along the way. I remember how our wins and losses goes. So for when it's a personal event, like I remember a ton of my tournament games from a bunch of my competitive days of playing. I also remember when I witnessed concepts, like if I learned a new idea and it's like from a specific time, I understand like, oh yeah, I learned that from so-and-so, they showed me this trick. So I kind of get how the Grandmaster memory works for chess because I've experienced it in my competitive gameplay, but the way that Magnus is just like 5 tiers ahead of everybody else.
Adesso siete voi ad avere paura.
I Covenant stanno cercando di raggiungersi. Non diamogli tempo.
One day I'm gonna learn openings and get good at chess. I feel like I understand the game better and better recently.
Sorpresa, sorpresa.
You know, we're talking about players being goated. I also like to glaze LeBron a little bit. That dude just won a playoff series at 41. I know people like to hate on him and say MJ's better. I don't care. We're not talking about MJ. We're talking about old man LeBron dragging his injured team to a playoff series win. What he's doing at 41 in the NBA is crazy. You can definitely tell he's old, like watching the game, was it last night or 2 nights ago? Like, he's missing some threes, he's not as fast as he used to be, but especially in the first quarter, he had some insane passes. Some of the dunks he's still doing in this series, he's getting up and like dunking on people that are half his age. Crazy. And they were expected to lose the series because the 2 star players for the Lakers were injured, but the star player for the Rockets also got injured, so it became like a more competitive fight, and somehow LeBron dragged that old man. I don't know how he does it. It's crazy. They're probably gonna get their asses handed to them in the next series, though. If they beat Oklahoma, then I don't know. LeBron is the GOAT. There's no question. But they're not beating Oklahoma. They're gonna get swept probably. They don't, if they're not healthy, if they don't have Luka, they don't stand a chance. And even if they do have Luka, they weren't gonna win. So I think that just the fact that they won 1 playoff series is pretty cool. Yeah, if they had all 3 of them, they were still like a 1% win rate. And they're not gonna have all 3 of them, so good luck.
In quell'edificio sono intrappolati diversi marini. Concentrati sui rari, sono i più pericolosi.
Sometimes it's faster to drive to the right just to cut off the angle when you're low health. By faster, I mean safer. Like you can get away faster.
Signore, caporale Perez compagnia, il comando è da questa parte. Il tenente è stato colpito appena siamo arrivati.
Chi è al comando adesso, caporale?
Il sergente Banks, signora. È di sopra. Vi farò vedere. Quando ho chiesto dei rinforzi, non mi aspettavo di vedere arrivare uno SPAT. Abbiamo dei guai. Vedi questo sguardo? È terrore. Mori, ti ho dato il permesso di lamentarti.
Non credo che si fermerà. Giù la testa!
Una cosa sta iniziando a darmi sui nervi.
Marine, dobbiamo far fuori uno scarab.
Get down! Almost died. Wait, I just realized I was wrong about the... Wow, I almost just died through death shots through the wall. That would have been crazy. I've never had that happen. Ding didn't defend against Nepo. He played against Nepo after the candidates when both of them got first and second.
Noi siamo la mano dei profeti.
Wait, or did he defend? I can't remember. I've got those events mixed up. Nothing since 2019 makes sense in the timeline. I know it's off topic now, but I was trying to remember the exact timeline there. I think I messed it up a little. Please. Thank you. What's up, Benny?
Arbiter, pulisci l'hangar e apri. Se potrò sganciare la seconda lana. Tieni la posizione, mi sto avvicinando.
Get behind the wall! Almost died. I'm dead! I'm alive.
Quanto a lungo vuoi restare in
Oh, come on. Hit your shots, me.
Copritevi.
Altri eretici nel passaggio sotto di noi.
Qualcuno si occupi di quel cecchino. Siamo tutti in pericolo. luce dei profeti.
This guy die?
Quanti siamo?
Can't hit him.
Dobbiamo avere fede.
I'm gonna lose. I'm losing these 1v1s, man. Help me out, team.
Sarà per la prossima.
Baited. Having some lag spikes. Not seeing it on my end. I believe you.
Manteniamo la disciplina. Hanno mandato
Uh-oh. Did I just fuck this? I did. It's dead. Wait. Serpentine to victory? Somehow? That's crazy. How did I live? That's insane. Sometimes just got a serpentine. And not the smoothest barbator, but we're alive.
Io difenderò l'oracolo.
La sua verità non deve essere celata.
Gli eretici mobilitano le forze aeree. Insegui il leader, ma guardati le spalle. Invio uno dei nostri phantom di supporto.
Game capture's lagging out like crazy. Okay, so other people are saying the same thing. Weird.
Leader degli eretici in questo settore della stazione. Ripulisci la ZA e penetra all'interno.
I might need to. I think maybe it's. Sometimes Chrome goes crazy. Let me make sure Discord's closed too. I'm just gonna close everything.
Cosa è successo qui?
Chiedevo chi avrebbero inviato i profeti. Un arbiter. Sono quasi lusingato.
Sta usando un olodrone, deve essere vicino. Vieni fuori, così ti uccideremo.
Aspetta il tuo turno.
Leader, silenzio.
Maledetti pazzi ereti, cosa hanno fatto?
What are the processes that they're taking with this stuff? OBS is taking too much, man. Why is OBS taking that? Oh, is it double audio? I didn't realize I had double audio playing. I And that's not. Why is OBS taking up so much memory? Alright. We'll see if it's better now. Okay, what's up, defend? Okay, Chrome is like... It might be lagging again. If it is, let me know. I don't... Hey, don't do that. $41. Way better now. If I had a clone, I mean, yeah, if you can work together, I feel like I could take down most anything, right? I don't know. I feel like the whole 100 humans versus 1 gorilla was the dumbest conversation ever. Humans win every single time. We've been killing nature and taking like names for so long that people have forgotten where we've come from. Like 100 organized humans versus 1 gorilla. That gorilla's fucked, man. Yeah, maybe we lose a couple humans, but like. Then we just take their bones and turn them into weapons, and the gorilla's dead. We harness technology. We burn their forest down, like...
Leader, sta arrivando la
Humans cheat. I mean, if I can just like take spare parts off my clone, I'll just take his bones and fashion a like spear. It's no longer hand-to-hand combat maybe, but I don't know if that's against the rules, but I feel like I don't know if you guys remember, this was like maybe a year or two ago, maybe even longer. There was discussion about could 100 people take down one gorilla, like barehanded, or like if you were like thrown in the woods kind of scenario. And I think the answer is obvious that yes, 100 people can take down a gorilla. Like, as long as they coordinate and don't go at it one at a time, like henchmen from a bad like combat movie, then yes, the people can organize to take down a gorilla. I don't care how strong it is. We've been hunting mammoths and shit since the beginning of time. Yeah, also, we would just win on stamina. The gorilla would get tired after beating the first 100 people to death. The next 50 people would stamina is part of what made humans successful too. The fact that we could just run things down, make them tired. There's no chance that 100 people lose that fight. You let me pick my friends, I think we can take it down with like 3 of us, and none of us are getting injured. What if they were thrown into a UFC cage match? I think the gorilla would lose because murder's not allowed. Or biting. Or like ripping your opponent's arms off. I don't think the gorilla would follow the UFC rules.
Le nostre vite per la verità! Per la verità e per ricovero!
Sei ancora vivo, Arbiter? Stiamo tenendo il passo il meglio possibile.
Brother, man, how do you shoot so fast? I thought I was quick, I'm a fool. I guess now the new argument is the red button, blue button thing. I didn't even read the whole Mr. Beast post. I don't give a shit which button anybody pushes. Those thought experiments are so stupid. Well, you're giving this button and 10 people die, but 10 people also live. Shut up. Push the button, I don't care. I'd rather discuss who's losing to the gorilla. I think the hypotheticals of everybody dies and you have to push buttons is silly.
Un nuovo comando, una nuova flotta. O con la loro bugia, con il grande viaggio. Guardati intorno, arbiter.
That's my first interpretation of it was like, at minimum 30% of the population doesn't understand the wording to the question in any way, so who cares? Like 30% of the people pushing that button might as well be random. It doesn't matter if they've read the question or not because they didn't understand it. They're pushing one of them. So you have to take that into account. Like it's a guarantee that some people have misread the question. And it's not even just some people, it's like 30%.
Signore, dobbiamo neutralizzare quelle torrette!
No way! I didn't see the grenade! I jumped right on it! I didn't see him throw it! Dang. I guess dashboard. I didn't hear it or see it. And the idiots. Yeah, no, the idiots is the biggest one. Like, I don't know. Even if you say, like, oh, you have to be 18 and you can't be dementia, like, if you take it, like, 18 to 80 or 18 to 70 or whatever, it's still 30% of the population will not understand the question. This is like a real thing that, like, survey makers have to, like, take into account, is, like, I think the number is literally, like, 1/3. They know that, like, people don't take surveys seriously. They don't take these questionnaires seriously. They answer the first question, they answer the middle question, they answer the last question. They do a pattern. They just don't care. Like, if you ask somebody to, like, do something and you read them a long list of instructions, it's like 30% of people just straight up don't care. So, like, if it's a life or death situation or it's a survey or whatever, like, people are just not gonna... It's gonna go in one ear and out the other, and they're gonna do it at random. It might as well be an RNG sample. Survey making is actually pretty hard because you have so many biases like this that you have to take into account. Like, first of all, the only people who fill out surveys are those with strong opinions. So you'll never really get, like, the lukewarm people filling out surveys because either you loved it and maybe you want something free from the company, or you hated it and you really want to let them know how much you hated it. But if you're lukewarm on something, why would you review it? Like, what's the point? Like, no one wastes their time. So for surveys and stuff, a lot of times you only end up with, like, a selection bias of people who really have something to say. And that's not necessarily the majority of people. It's not representative of the overall demographics. It's the most vocal people. Sometimes it's good to take into their point of view, but other times it's such a small portion of people that if you listen to them, you're going to lose your normal, like, clientele.
Quando sei pronto, vieni da me al comando a distanza. Fai attenzione perché non ho intenzione di ripetermi. Questa stazione verificherà gli scudi energetici a ricarica. Gli scudi della tua nuova corazza sono molto resistenti, molto efficaci.
So they try to reach different demographics for surveys. They try to, like, whenever they do, like, it used to make more sense when they would do, like, phone calls and people would answer, but they would, like, call, like, different, like, places across the US to get different cities and states. They would try to get different ages and different genders, and, like, whenever they create polls and they try to, like, get the general sentiment on stuff, they try to, like, get a wide variety of people responding. It's hard to do that. Some people spend a lot of time trying to force people to respond to surveys. A lot of people get really frustrated when you don't answer their surveys. They just want people to tell them.
Magari Lord Wood ha dimenticato di invitarlo. Ah, la Terra. Sono anni che non la vedo. Quando sono partito, la griglia di difesa orbitale era ancora un progetto nella mente dei politici. E ora guarda, il Cairo è soltanto una delle 300 piattaforme geostazionarie. Il fucile Khan potrebbe trapassare una nave da guerra Covenant. Il fuoco concentrato di Atene e Malta, nulla potrebbe superare indenne questa forza da battaglia. È da stamattina che arrivano astronavi. Nessuno dice molto, ma c'è qualcosa di grosso nell'aria.
Allarme. Nemico in avvicinamento. Ai posti di combattimento.
Dai.
Sei nei guai, amico.
No, dai.
Benvenuto alla festa.
Questa non è un'esercitazione. Ripeto, non è un'esercitazione. Vigilare le porte fortificate.
Cabron!
Aprire le rastrelliere delle armi.
Preparati a morire.
How did I just survive? Just ate that sword right to the face. Am I cheating? Mrs. Puff, am I cheating?
Cortana, quadro tattico.
L'esplosione proveniva dall'interno di Atene, come Gravemind. L'attacco dei Covenant era mirato all'inserimento di una bomba.
Allora è sicuro che ne hanno portata una anche qui. Trovala, capo.
Cos'è quella? Un'arma o...
Gold smoke. Elected a new pope. Hate you guys. Why are you like... I'm dead. Man, I suck. Should I take a break? I don't know if I'm gonna get another good one. I hate that I just lost that one to Delta Halo, but it might be break time. I don't know. Sloth Live. I'll raid Sloth. I might come back tonight. I keep saying that and I keep not coming back, but I want to get this time, but it's also so crushing to get a run that's like halfway through and then just die. I need a break. I'm gonna get some food. I'm gonna raid Sloth. I'll be back tonight, I think. Maybe. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for the support.